I think I finally found my dream computer. The only problem is that it lives between two different devices, the Apple iPad Pro and the Google Pixel Slate. The Apple iPad Pro has always been a tablet that I've liked going to for its fast processing and its library of apps, but it lacks certain things. Those certain things happen to be on the Google Pixel Slate. However, the Pixel Slate is also not necessarily the tablet computer that I'm looking for. Sure, there's the Microsoft Surface, but I think these both carry it forward, but they both cost about $1,000 when you add up all the accessories. One of my favorite things about the Google Pixel Slate, that's also true of Chromebooks, is that it supports trackpads, the thing you can't do on an iPad Pro. The trackpad plus the keyboard means that you could type on this, but you can also move a cursor around and you can do things for editing. It also supports Bluetooth mice. So you could do this and you can pair, and look at that. You can actually use this Microsoft Surface mouse. You could highlight, you can have second click, you could use the scroll wheel. This is the sort of stuff that's not a magic trick, but you can't do it on an iPad, and you really should. And it's really nice to have it instated here. Makes it feel a lot more like a computer. The other thing you can do on a Pixel Slate that feels like other Chromebooks is you can have multiple windows. There's no restriction to how you drag around windows and apps, which feels, again, like a regular desktop. But also, the browser feels like a real computer browser in the sense that it supports a whole lot of tabs, it supports extensions, and Chrome feels the way that it would work on a laptop or regular Windows or Mac computer. It also works with most apps and tools I would expect it to work with in a web browser, including Google's suite of apps. No surprise, because the Chromebook is made by Google, but Google Apps, Drive, Gmail, being able to use them in a browser is the way you would normally use them. On an iPad Pro, you'd have to download the app separately and interconnect them. And apps. You know, there are a lot more apps than you might think on the Pixel Slate because it taps into a lot of apps on Android. Not everything can be downloaded, but a whole lot can, and it really feels like a pretty decent collection that's on tap. That and Chrome ones that work in browser, ones that are standalone that work on the built-in storage. So, pretty good app library. Another thing I really like is multiple user sign-in. Now, this is, again, not new, but the ability to sign in to different accounts, like a lab account and a personal account, that's easy on a Pixel Slate, and it means that when you log in, all of your apps and all of your settings are all ready for you to use. That's not the case on an iPad. It's something that I really appreciate here and makes devices like Chromebooks really good to use in schools. What don't I like about the Pixel Slate? Well, a lot of it has to do with its size and price. It's heavy, and even though it's really pretty compact, it still doesn't feel like a great one-hand device. And similar to the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, I don't feel like I'm going to want to use this on the go all the time without a protective case or on a desk. Now the price, $599 for the starting price of this with 32 gigs of storage is not awful, but when you factor in all the accessories you'd want, like the keyboard, which is $200, or the Pixelbook pen, which is $100, you're getting really close to $1,000. And the version I reviewed, this is a $1,000 configuration with 128 gigs of storage. So you could be even paying a lot more. That's kind of like the iPad Pro, and I don't want to pay that sort of price for a Chromebook. And it didn't really feel all that fun. And maybe that's because I use an iPad a lot, and I use a lot of iOS apps. There are certainly a lot of apps to play with on this, but it does feel a little more like a work device than something that would be an all-around fun device. And I feel like game performance on this so far, app performance that are Android-based, it's not quite as smooth or as nice as you would get on an iPad. And for this price, I would expect it to be. Now, if you're looking for something that's like the Google Pixel Slate but costs a lot less, the HP Chromebook X2 is the way to go. It comes with a keyboard, it's also a Chromebook, and it's also detachable. Costs a lot less than this one. I really like the direction that the Pixel Slate is going in, but I don't think the price and its current performance match up to what you would want. But maybe in 2019, we'll see a lot more affordable options, and hopefully some of those trackpad and browser things end up on the iPad Pro as well. Please.